everybody. I hope you guys are all having a great day. So, I wake up go to bed every night and wake up every morning. And the last thing I do before I go to sleep, everybody wakes up and goes to sleep anyways. The last thing I do before I go to bed is I tell God how grateful I am for everything. Because when I look back on my life and I see where I was a year ago, and I look around at where I am today and who I am today, I am so grateful. And then when I wake up in the morning, I thank God and tell him I am so grateful that he has given me another day to spread the love that he's placed in my heart with others. Now, I don't get to go do a lot of stuff during the day. I'm going to be honest with you. I do a lot of stuff around the house. I'll run a few errands and whatnot, but, I've got to be readily available to help with my grandson at a drop of a hat. And if I had a job, I couldn't do that. I have to take my son to school in the morning, and I have to pick him up in the afternoon because, like I said before, he goes to, it's a high school, but it's a middle college, so he has college courses and they don't have bus service. So you have to, and sometimes he'll ride his bike. He actually used to ride his bike, but it got really cold in the wintertime, so he stopped. But when you have a grateful heart, you're not angry. You're not mad. It's when we start thinking that what we have is because of our own doing that we forget God put it there and God can take it away. When we think that we have the people in our lives because of us, God can take them away. When we think that, with regardless of what we think, God can take anything away that he wants. And I don't want him to take my stuff away. So I make sure to show him my gratitude. I think that a lot of people suffer from, I guess you could call it like self-centered complex or something. I don't know. They're very one-track minded. They don't think, they have a limited ability to think. And I guess that it might sound kind of harsh, but it's not meant to be. Essentially, what I mean by that is people think that what is in front of their face is the only thing that's real. And I get that. Actually, no, I don't. I've never thought like that because the Bible doesn't say that. The Bible tells us that we're here temporarily and that we're supposed to treat people how we want to be treated. And that's what I've always done. Unfortunately, people have always told me that I'm too much, or that pretty much that I'm too much. But what I realized during this last year is that when I listen to others and they tell me that I'm too much, I will try to not be myself. And that kind of doesn't sit right with God. He made me unique. He made me very unique for a reason. As a matter of fact, I've got a little dimple on my chin. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I've got a dimple on my chin. And somebody told me when I was a little kid, I think it was one of the bus drivers when I lived up in the mountains. He told me that the dimple on my chin was because God pointed me out, and I'm not kidding. My finger fits right there inside it, and he goes, "I like this one," and it stuck with me. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's my little God touch right there." He loved me so much, he touched me. And then he broke the mold because he said, "I cannot have two of them around here. There's no way this world can support two people like this." So, anyways, it's when we are able to be ourselves. Who cares what anybody else thinks? Seriously. I don't want to dim my light, and I'm not going to anymore, to satisfy everybody else. People who get jealous of me, honestly, it's because they don't find the freedom in themselves. And what they don't realize is that They have the opportunity to be as happy as I am and to love as much as I do if they stop thinking so poorly about themselves. I don't think that people think that they're necessarily bad within themselves, but I think they spend too much time worrying about what everybody else thinks of them. So they put on the mask and they go around life trying to, and I did it for a while, for a long time. They put this mask on to make sure that, if they're going into this group, that they act like this. If they go into this group, they act like this. If they go into this group, they behave this way. And it's so unfair. It is completely unfair to themselves. And it's unfair to the people around them, because if they are truly excited about life, love hard, love often, then they don't get to share that, because other people have not found it within themselves to be able to do the same. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.